Good, Chef. How are you?
Well, as we have talked about previously, we got into our Aryan cakes. So we have a little agenda for today before we get into it. First, we're going to look at our PowerPoint just to kind of refresh your memory of what we talked about last class. We're going to do a Let's Think Back, which basically is our Think, Pair, Share. Then we're going to do the Tres Leches demo, and then we're going to do a little product evaluation. So let's look at our PowerPoint. So last class, sorry. Let's pull this down. That's good. Last class we went through this presentation. So first I want to just refresh your memory about all aerated cakes. So the first one we're going to talk about is Angel Food Cake, which is a fat-free cake, so it's only egg whites, and that's the only structure of leavening that it has. It doesn't use any type of grease, no egg yolks, and no greased pan. And it has to be cooled upside down. There's actually a pan that is dedicated just for Angel Food Cake. As you can see here, these are the percentages. It has 0 fat, but it has 43% egg whites. The Genoese, which is kind of what we're going to be making today for our Tres Leches. It's an European sponge, but it has eggs that are whipped with sugar for leavening, and it's used for a layered cake. The pan also stays ungreased. The only difference that I am gonna grease the pan just because I do want it to come out easily. Sometimes it kind of does get stuck in the pan, but I prefer to use the greased pan. It has 47% egg, 13% fat, and 21% sugar. So as you can see, this is our typical baked at 350, but our Angel Food Cake is at 325 because we want it to go slow and steady. So chiffon cake is a hybrid sponge cake which contains both oil and egg for aeration. So the eggs are beaten separately and then folded into the batter, which I will be also doing today. So my cake is kind of like a hybrid of basically all the ones that I'm talking about. But it has 38% egg, 12% fat, and this one is also baked at a lower temperature. Yes, Lizzie?
Does this cake use all parts of the egg or just the egg white?
So this contains both.
Okay.
Because you're folding that, as you'll see, you're folding those egg whites into it.
Gotcha.
Are the percentages that you have at the bottom considered our baker's percents? Or
No,
is it
they're
different?
just, you can compare it to that. They are a little off, but it's just basically to show you the percent in comparison. You had a question, Marissa?
Yeah. I was just wondering what type of fat juice that I saw was oil. Would you just use like a vegetable or?
So it could be, you can use butter, you can use just a blended oil, but also our egg is a fat, our egg yolk. So the key ingredients and the rules. So the eggs provide structure. Oh, by the way, I did provide you guys with your lecture notes. I hope you did bring those with you. If not, I gave you a copy. So make sure that you are kind of going through it and making sure that you fill in those parts that you remember. So the sugar stabilizes the egg whites and adds sweetness. The flour, you prefer cake flour because it doesn't have, can anybody tell me what cake flour doesn't have?
Protein.
Yes, correct, Lizzie, you were right. It doesn't contain any protein, which you should be using for an Angel Food Cake. And then fat is only in the Genoese and the chiffon. It adds moisture. Yes, Lizzie?
Why wouldn't I want a flour with protein in it?
Because if the Angel Food Cake is so sensitive that if you continue mixing it and mixing it, it's going to develop that gluten, and we don't want that.
Okay.
For leavening, the Angel Food Cake only egg whites. Genoese is air into the whole eggs. Chiffon is both egg whites and a chemical leavener. And I will be using a chemical leavener. I'll be using baking powder today. So mixing methods, which we will be seeing all today, is whipping that we do for the Angel Food Cake. For the Genoese, we do also whipping, but we also bring it to a ribbon stage. And then the chiffon, we also use whipped yolks, and I will be showing you the different stages of whipped cream and whipped egg whites. So let's this is the activity that we did last class, so we're gonna skip over that. So this is what can happen if you don't follow the correct steps to your cake. So this is an angel food cake that was not baked upside down or baked correctly. So that's what can happen. It stuck to the pan, it didn't come out correctly. This is also an angel food cake that it wasn't done properly, so it stuck to the pan. This is a chiffon here at the bottom, and the top is a Genoese. So what do you think happened to that cake, Lizzie? In the top.
Well, it deflated.
Why do you think that is? What was done improperly?
Maybe you didn't whip the egg whites enough.
Yes, correct. Or if you did whip it enough, what else could have happened after you whipped it, Marissa?
If you underbaked it,
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Could it also be if you didn't fold it in properly to your full batter?
So actually, it wouldn't work like that. It would be if you mix it into your batter, but then mixed it too much.
Okay.
So the fact that you were kind of incorporating that motion into it deflated the egg whites and took the area away. And then Julia, what do you think happened to the cake on the top?
They took it out too early. Looks undercooked.
Yes. And what do you think happened on the one on the bottom? Why is it so dense?
Overmixed, possibly.
Overmixed, yeah, correct. So now we're gonna talk about our egg white peaks. So when we're whipping, the first one is a foaming, soft peak, stiff peak, which we will be using today, and then over whipped. What do you think happened to the over whipped, and why can't we use it? Yes, Amara.
Isn't it like it starts separating
Yes, correct. And why can't we use it in our cake?
because it's separated, it's not cohesive anymore.
Yeah.
And so it's just like a liquid and then like a paste of
You're right,
sorts.
yes. And then this is also our whipped cream. So you kind of see the same soft peak, firm peaks, stiff peaks. But what happens if we overbeat whipped cream, Julia?
Butter.
And how can you bring it from whipped cream to butter? What do you have to do once it gets to that butter? You have to drain it, yes, correct. So this is another whipped cream peak, so soft, medium, and stiff. All right, so this is the exit ticket you guys completed last time, but now let's move on. Let's get to our think, pair, share. So after going through that PowerPoint that we just went, where have you seen these mixing methods other than cakes?
Whipped cream.
Okay. Anyone else? Mashed potatoes. Okay, you've seen whipping. And why do you think egg whites will not whip if there's fat present in the bowl, but heavy cream whips just fine and it contains fat? Actually, I want you to talk to your partner and I want you to discuss that for a minute and then we can get back into it.
Why do you think pasteurization?
egg whites don't have fat.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's the egg white.
The heavy cream
Oh.
has the fat
Maybe
and
for
it
some
whips.
question. But then that heavy
It's been
cream
pasteurized
is
highly,
a
it's like
lot
brought to a
Yeah.
certain temperature.
So there's your answer.
And the eggs are not gonna have been brought to that certain temperature.
So if there's fat,
It was fat, it won't.
it won't whip.
All right, I'll give you 30 seconds.
I think.
I don't know.
That's my thinking. I don't know either. That's my like weird guess.
All right, who wants to share?
Chef, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not fully sure.
Okay.
So something we were talking about was Amara brought up that heavy cream is pasteurized.
It's pasteurized like heavier, so it's brought to a certain temperature, while the eggs are not brought like up to a certain temperature before they're sold. So I was thinking maybe that has something to do with it.
Okay. Anyone else?
We were stuck on it. Because we were thinking the heavy cream has a lot of fat, but then the egg whites don't.
So they both whip because it doesn't. This one it won't whip because the egg whites If the fat is present, you actually want acidity. So it will kind of coat that acidity and it will not be able to whip up. But this, the heavy cream, if you actually add, lemon, it won't whip up.
Really?
So if you add acidity, it'll kind of curdle and go bad. So it's kind of like the opposite with each one. All right, so now let's get into making our cake.
Yay!
So here I have my bowl and my whisk. Does anybody know what I should do first since I'm whipping egg whites? Kind of just mentioned it. a little
Make
bit.
sure there's no fat in the
Yes. How can I clean my bowl?
bowl. Using an acid.
What kind of acid do you guys think I should use or I could use?
Vinegar.
I could use white vinegar. Anyone else?
A lemon.
Yes, that's what I will be using today. A lemon. So basically what you want to do is take this and just rub it in there. Just rub it.
know that.
Yep. And that will take away all the fat in there.
Interesting.
And then you're gonna do the same thing to your whisk.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, you're gonna do that to your whisk. So remember that for your practical, these are all aerated cakes. You will be using a egg white. So if you're mixing it, make sure that you do this to your utensil. Yes?
Does the lemon impart any flavor to the cake?
No, it's just a cleaning method that you use to help prevent your egg white from not opening.
Question.
Yes.
So
Julia.
if you were to just do the lemon, let's say like you got too much lemon in there and you felt like you wanted to wipe it out with a paper towel, would that ruin it?
No, you can do that. If you got too much, you can do that. But I will show you another trick in just a second. But right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to separate my eggs. Does anybody know what I shouldn't get in my egg whites?
The yolk.
The shell.
Oh.
Both. Yes, correct. So we're gonna separate that.
What happens if you got some yolk in there?
It will not whip up, unfortunately.
Oh no.
So we are going to try to do a happy dance for this right now because we want to make sure that it does whip. We're saving the yolk. Remember that, okay?
Yes, chef.
We're saving the yolk. But oh, you see what just happened to me right there?
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna put my hand.
Oh my gosh,
That's
you
so
got it
cool.
so easily.
Yeah. We're gonna put it in here, and then for the sake, we're gonna take a little rag and just clean our hands real quick. We're still gonna be working with egg whites, so it's okay. I'm not gonna touch any ready-to-eat food. So we're gonna continue cracking that.
So would you rather the egg fall or
I prefer for it not to because sometimes that impact of it falling, my egg yolk could crack. Like as I was kind of maneuvering it, my egg yolk cracked inside of the shell and I had to quickly move it.
Interesting. Uh-oh. What are you gonna do there, chef?
I'm scared? Have you ever
Could you almost input it, like just place it in your hand?
I could. And let's drop that in there. I got a shell, so I'm gonna fish for that in a second. Honestly, I could go in there, kind of search for my shell, and just pull it right out. So it's okay, because this is all gonna get cooked, baked actually. So we're good.
How many eggs are you using, chef?
I'm using 6 eggs. Can we all actually please turn to our recipe, kindly provided by King Arthur flour, which is the flour that we are using for all of our cakes. We will be using either cake flour or all-purpose. For this cake, I am using all-purpose because she is very forgiving.
We're not using pastry flour.
I'm not going to be using pastry flour as this recipe calls for the all-purpose, but you have to make sure that when you are researching your cake for homework, that you find a recipe that you read the flour to make sure that we know what flour you're using. So we'll save these. Clean this up real quick.
Chef, If I don't have a lemon, is there anything else I could use?
Like Julia said earlier, we can use a tiny little paper towel with a little vinegar, and it will help us remove all that fat. So now we're gonna lift this up. So I don't know if you guys remember earlier, this helps, the acidity helps the egg whites wet. So I cleaned the bowl with this, but I'm also gonna squeeze a little bit in there. So we're gonna whip this. Do you guys wanna come up here with me so that you can see how these egg whites will kind of just puff up?
Yes,
You wanna come on this side. So we're gonna put it at a high temperature. We're gonna kind of stop it at every step just so that I can show you. I'm going to do an egg white dance because we're gonna hope that this moves up. She's getting there. Let's see what happens. She's getting
Wow,
there.
it's getting foamy already.
Yeah, so that's our foaming stage right now.
It really doesn't
Like
feel
with the
lemon.
lemon.
That's our foaming stage if you guys want to get in. Now we're starting to kind of get into our soft stage. You see how white it's getting?
Yeah.
So that's how you know that it's getting there. We're just going to whip, whip, whip.
How long does it normally take?
A minute or so. If you put it at high speed, it should go fast. So right now we're kind of at our soft stage.
That's like really fast.
Yeah?
Crazy. I thought it was a lot of time.
What stage are we looking for right now?
Stiff.
Yes. It's not stiff yet, but I want to show you what it looks like. Or maybe it is. No, it's soft right now. So you see how it's like, if I lift it up, it's not standing. I should be able to lift it. You see how it like
Yeah,
flopped over?
yeah.
So that's how you know we're still at the soft stage. So let's just put this back in there.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So it says room temperature for the eggs for this, but then what cream they say for everything to be cold?
Yes.
Why is that?
So if the eggs are too cold, they won't whip up.
Really?
Yeah.
The opposite.
The opposite. The
Every
completely opposite.
Why is that?
You know, that is something that we're gonna have to look into later because I feel like there's many different reasons, but I'm not sure which one is correct. So I think we just got to our stage. Can you guys look?
Oh wow.
It was really
Yeah. You see how it's not like if you look at it, it's not kind of going back down. It's staying in that
Yeah.
stiff. So I'm gonna whip it for one more second.
Your dance worked, though.
My dance worked, and I hope so. All right. So now let's see.
Oh!
Okay, now let's stand up. So that's what we want.
Crazy.
All right. So with this, we're gonna actually take this and we're gonna put it to the side. Now we're gonna take our next bowl. So you gotta make sure that you're separating everything. So we're gonna, I know this is a little intense, but you wanna make sure that you're separating the egg yolks and the egg whites. With this, we don't have to use our lemon because it contains fat, so that it doesn't really matter. What we're gonna do is take this. Can anybody read me in the recipe, after I whip my egg whites, what do I do next?
Beat the egg yolks until well combined.
Right. So this step you can also do by hand, but it takes a really long time. So remember I said my egg yolks, I'm gonna put that in there.
Steph, I have a question.
Yes, Lizzie.
So you said that it was really important that there was no egg yolk in the egg whites.
Yes.
Does it matter if there's any egg white in the egg yolk?
No, it doesn't matter because
Really?
we're not looking for volume. We're looking for volume here, but not here. So now I'm just gonna whip this until well combined. What's my next step after that?
Add the sugar and beat until it thickens.
Can somebody read me the next part of that? It talks about a stage. What's that stage called? Anybody see that on the recipe?
Ribboning.
Ribboning. Can anybody tell me what they think that is?
I think when we lift up the whisk and kind of like almost give it a little shake, it's gonna kind of fall off and look like a ribbon.
Oh, it's a snowstorm. This table is also dancing for me. My goodness.
I feel like it's helping.
So, this is a very important stage, so I just want you guys to come over here to also watch what is happening. We're gonna want to keep our spatula next to us. So if you see it, it kind of looks
Like home.
kind of, yes, very much so. But all the sugar is not incorporated as much yet. So it kind of looks like scrambled eggs, which is funny because when you stop it,
Oh, it like sinks.
it makes like a little sauce. You can't even tell. Did you see how the sugar made it light?
Yeah.
Because the egg yolks are very dark and rich, and now the sugar made it light. So that's also us incorporating air into it. So air makes things lighter in volume and in color. Alright, so that's what we're getting there. Can somebody, when you get to your seat, read me the next step after I get to the ribbon stage? But let me show you that ribbon stage actually. You see how if I do that, it doesn't like disintegrate right away?
Right.
It kind of stays there for a second. That's what we're looking for. So what's my next step?
Add the water, vanilla, and almond extracts to the egg yolk.
Right.
Beat it to combine.
Beat it to combine. Right. Lizzie, do you mind doing me a favor?
Yes, chef.
Can you get me some water in this cup?
Chef, does it matter the temperature?
Cold.
What would happen if it was hot water?
You're interrupting that aeration. You're kind of killing that air.
Curdle.
No, it won't curdle.
It won't curdle the egg
It
yolk.
just won't be, it just won't keep that air. So you see how it lightened? It kind of will deflate a little bit.
Chef.
Thank you.
Let's see if it is.
So in our recipe, it says that we should add how much water? Anyone know?
1/3 cup.
And what's the grams?
74.
Okay. I'm just gonna, to me, that's kind of like a little splash. I'm just gonna add some water. Anybody else knows what I can add to this bowl with my water? What else am I adding to it?
Vanilla and almond extract.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do a little splash of vanilla
Okay.
and a little splash of almond. So now I'm gonna whip this until combined. Anybody smell that?
Wow.
No?
No.
It smells like almonds.
I feel like
I can imagine what it would smell like.
So, and what's my next step?
Stir in baking powder, salt, flour.
Yeah. Thank you, Julia. So this is my baking powder and salt right here, and then this is my flour. So I'm just gonna put this in here and give it a little mix with the whisk. Anybody tell me what I'm doing with this whisk? There's two different reasons.
You're kind of sifting it.
Correct.
Yes.
Anyone else?
Lumps. Well, that's it.
Yes, but also it makes sure that everything's broken up and incorporated evenly. So now, slowly, at like level 1 or 2, we're gonna sift this in there to make sure we don't have another snowstorm. There we go. Does anybody know what cake they kind of want to do for their practical?
I think I want to do an angel food cake.
Can you tell me 2 things that you shouldn't do when making an angel food cake?
There is no fat,
Uh-huh.
just egg whites, and cool it upside down.
Amazing. Can you use particular pan to make angel food cake?
No, I don't know the name of it. I call it Angel Food Cake Pan.
It is called just an angel food cake
Wow.
pan.
Where it has the little hole in the middle.
Yeah. Is there a difference between a bundt pan and an angel food cake pan?
Yes.
The ribs? Yeah, correct. You're right. Yes, correct. So after incorporating, I'm gonna kind of give it. Actually, I'm gonna put this back up here. I'm just gonna scrape the sides because some of that flour came up as it was whipping. Perfect, perfect. I'm just gonna give it one last mix. And I think she's a little dry, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more water. All right. So we are all set with this. You want to make sure to. So do you see? Oh, it's so light color.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Ooh, I smell the almond.
Yeah. Now I'm just gonna shake this real quick to get all that out of there.
Could you do different extracts? Like
You
almond?
can, absolutely. You can put peppermint, hazelnut, any kind of extract you would like. I think almond just goes so well with this cake. All right, so this is the time where I want all of you to come over here because this is the real magic of an aerated cake. And I want all of you to try this method, so we're gonna do folding. So we just did whipping, now we're gonna fold, which is another technique. I'm just gonna shake this.
What if I mess up then?
You're gonna have to try again, but there is different methods that you can do to fix it. So I'm gonna take my egg whites and I'm gonna put it on top of my yolk mixture.
All at once.
All at once.
It looks like a cloud.
It is kind of like a cloud. So as I'm looking at my egg whites, as they sat there for a little bit, they look like they're about to be on the verge of being overmixed, but this is okay. With this cake, as we're folding it in, which I want all of you to try, it'll be good. So just gonna show you, what you're gonna wanna do is the bowl from the, you see how I'm doing kind of this like circular motion and grabbing from the bottom and coming up, grabbing from the bottom and coming up. I want all of you to try it. All right, Lizzie, go in there. And fold it from the top to the bottom. There you go. From the top to the bottom.
Guys, it smells so good. You want to go?
Yeah, let's all try it. Making sure that we're not just beating it, we're folding it. And grabbing all the sides correct. From the sides, perfect. From the bottom. And continue doing that slowly and gently. So this will help prevent our egg whites to deflate as you're folding and going around and folding. Good job, Marissa. What? Can I eat it? I want to eat the clouds. So that is actually not cooked yet, so it's not good to eat, but once it comes out of the oven, you definitely can try it.
Chef, so the recipe says to fold it until there's no streams of white shown. What would happen if I kind of just baked it right now?
So then so also, this is gonna sound so fun, but the egg with the batter that we made will help coat those egg white pockets.
Yeah.
So it won't deflate.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
All right, so I can finish doing that while you guys sit down.
Oh my gosh, you're so fast with it.
Whoa.
Okay. Yes,
Go,
chef.
So, there we go.
Could never be me.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
But it's still ribbony.
No, that's okay. That is the riveting with the egg whites mixed into it. So now we're gonna take our pan. We are just going to lightly grease it. Lightly. Spray it. Yes.
I know some people toast flour after you pan it. Is that something that you like to do?
I don't like to do that because so the flour will absorb some of the moisture of the cake, and I don't really like to do that. So I think my grease pan is just fine. But I want it to be in all corners, so make sure that you are really getting in there. All right. Now, we're gonna put our cake in here. Just watch the way that it falls on the pan.
Wow.
Oh, you see the ribbons.
That's not the most satisfying.
It's really satisfying. I could fall asleep to that.
Make sure we're cleaning our bowl. Perfect. We're getting all of that in there. Perfect.
Would you like me to wash this?
Yes, please. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So now this is gonna go in the oven for 350, and it's gonna take about 20-30 minutes. But for the sake of our demonstration today, I have already baked one, so we can all try it and kind of discuss what the texture and all of that. So I'm gonna put this in the oven for you. Can you put that in the oven, Amara? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Before we get to trying, we're going to make a soak, which I want you all to help me. And we're going to be cutting some strawberries and making some whipped cream to top our cake. So, Marissa, would you mind coming up here and helping me?
I love a big can opener.
How can I help?
So we're going to make you do the whipped cream.
Oh, you got the fun job.
Lizzie,
Yes, chef.
I want you to come help me cut the strawberries.
Do I need gloves?
Yes, you do, because it is ready to eat. And let me go grab you those ingredients. So this is the whipped cream, which is nice and cold. This is the sugar and vanilla. So just put this right in here and put all the ingredients in it and just whip it until it gets to that medium soft cake, medium stiff cake.
I'm ready, chef. So we're making the frosting before we make the topping.
We're doing, because it's gonna be separate, so we're doing it all separately just to help with time.
Chef, are we allowed to use a spatula?
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
How am I cutting them, chef?
Just take the top off and cut them in.
I'm really leaving it open. spoon is big.
So you can let that whip here and you can sit down so we can start our tasting. Let me see how many you have moving. That is perfect. You are all set. And I will keep this up here. You can go sit down.
Can I take my gloves off?
Yes, you can. So what we have here is I want you to go to your evaluation sheet. I want you to try the liquid, try the cake just by itself, and then try the moist finished cake. Okay?
Wow. Tastes like melted ice cream.
Like melted ice cream?
Which one is it? Is it the three? Wait.
The 3 milk soap. Is that what this is, Chef?
That is a 3 milk soap, yes.
So here it is.
Looks great. Flavor.
I'm gonna get you guys some forks, okay?
Yes, Chef. I love it. Tastes.
I say it's like a sweeter groundhog legs.
Yeah.
As this is yours to eat, you're welcome to just take from the pan, okay? Here's some spoons. And then take one of these and try it without the soaking, and then take a bite from this and try that.
It's nice and bouncy.
As we are trying these, I just want to go through our homework. So make sure that you have finished all your lecture notes and your product evaluation. Also make sure that you have looked at the assignment for the practical. You are to find an aerated cake that you would like to create, and you have to bring a sauce, and you have to do a topping of a whipped cream or some sort of topping like that, and you have to create one of these and plate it. And I want you to draw a picture in your assignment, and then bring it over, and then you're gonna recreate that, okay?
Yes, Chef.
Does anybody have any questions? How does it taste?
It tastes really good.
So good?
Amazing.
Perfect. I'm glad you like it.
That's amazing.
I'm glad.
Sure.
I'm gonna finish the rest of this to the side.
Oh
But
my
does
God.
anybody else have any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
For the practical, can I do a tres leches cake with almond flour instead?
Yeah, you can do a different variation. You can do a different flavor. Sometimes people add, like, instead of the water, they do some sort of puree. So you are more than welcome to change this recipe up. You have it at your disposal.
Is the almond flour, since it has a different protein content, is that going to change anything?
I don't think so. This cake is extremely forgiving, and I've tried it with different flours, so I think you guys will be okay if you'd like to pick this cake. Any other questions for me?
I hope mine tastes this good.
I hope so too. Well, thank you so much, guys. You can come by later to grab another piece, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chef.